What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded and shown any other videos or anything like that, or shown any projects. And I just want to say that I apologize for that. I've started videos and never uploaded the rest of them. We've had some problems with editing and not coming out the way I wanted it to. So I'm going to try to do this in one take versus trying to do multiple parts. I'm kind of talking a little fast, so I apologize about that, but I'm trying to get to the point of the video. Some of you guys may know I'm a YouTube partner in the aspect of I get paid for monetization, and I got an email recently saying that I needed to upload because I was inactive. So what I decided I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you the project that I've been working on here. I have a couple more projects, but I'm not going to show you those today just because I don't know the state of where they're going to go, and I don't really want to keep you guys in the loop of, you know, having a new project and then never getting the rest of the videos out to you. I did finish the bike here. As you can see, it is finished. It's went through a couple different fixes up even after that. So just a quick update on that. What was the problem was there was a yellow box right here. And this little yellow box underneath this is it's for all the grounds. And what it happens is that some of these have a common issue where it'll get really hot right there and it'll actually melt and it'll cut the power to the fuel pump. So that's the problem with that. It was just a quick update, but that's not the point of this video. This video is actually an update on the 96 Slowbra, as the name of the channel now these days. And I talked about doing the swap of a V8. As some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not. I was in high school, dumb kid, you know, and I put Cobra badges on my V6 car. Happens a lot, you know, shame, I get it. But I went a little bit further than most people. I bought the wheels, the headlights, the bumper, things of that nature. And so because I was trying to get really as close as I could. And so what I've done now, it's not a Cobra motor, but I did get a V8 and a standard out of a donor car. And I haven't filmed really any of the process, but I got it in the car, and I'm going to tell you guys today what you need to do to actually do this swap. It's not 100% complete yet, but I've done many hours of research into this, so I should be able to give you a really good idea of what needs to happen. So I'm going to flip the camera around off of me. I don't really look that great. I need a haircut, I know, but this thing doesn't look much better, honestly, but hopefully it'll run good once it's done. And so I'm gonna pull it up in front of me. So here it is, here in the garage, and as you can see, looks pretty rough. But at least I have it in the garage now. Before, it was outside and I never wanted to work on it. As you can see, this is a 4.6 liter V8 out of a 98 Mustang GT. It's kind of a mess right now just because it's thrown in there. I'm trying to get it to start. I was having some issues, but I'm pretty sure I figured out what these issues are. So just a quick rundown of things that you need to have to do this swap. I would 100% recommend that you get a donor car. If you try to do this piece together, it's just not going to work. So quick things though. CCRM is different from the V6 and V8 models. You obviously need engine, transmission. Even if you have a V6 transmission, it will not bolt up to the GT motor. You do need a new one. It has to happen. The way I did it is I actually lifted the front of the car here. I had a cherry picker here, and we lifted it up all the way as high as we could, and we actually dropped the cradle from underneath the car. So you need a CCRM. I would recommend doing the cradle method. It's just a lot easier and everything along those nature. You need this wiring harness here that goes into the firewall. You do not have to remove the dash to get that, although it would be a lot easier if you did. There is another harness that goes from the fuse box into the firewall over there as well. You need that. And in my case, I was going from an automatic to a manual, so I also needed the clutch line here. I did not have to drill that hole. It is already there, even if your car is an automatic. So let me move on into the interior. There's not much of an interior left, as you can see. I've got the dash pulled out right now because the car still was not running. So I was getting crank, and then it all of a sudden stopped getting crank, and it has not been getting fuel the entire time. So what I've learned is that the 98 Mustangs had quite a bit of changes in the year from 96 to 98. 98, they updated some issues with pats and things of that nature. So that is a 96 dash. You could tell by the little hump in the middle. I actually kind of like the clock. You know, it's a little sad that that's going to be gone. But here's the 98 dash. And what I did, I removed it as a set. So I have all the wiring and everything in here from the 98. And I'm pretty certain that that's going to be solving my issue, and that's going to fix it. So if it doesn't, I will keep you guys updated. I have to on this because I know I have not been able to find any good information on this here. So it's just been really trial and error, trial and error, and trial and error. And so that's what I've really been working with. So that's why it's really been taking way too long than it should have been. But if you're doing it with a donor car, it's not that bad. You're going to need friends. Honestly, you really do. This car was originally ABS. This car is not an ABS anymore because the 98 was not an ABS car. Now, you need the brake lines. You'll need the hydro booster. The hydro booster itself wouldn't be necessary, but it is necessary because the brake booster would not fit with the motor would not fit with the brake booster. It won't fit together. So, I think that kind of brings most of it there. Yeah, I mean, you have to connect all your connectors together. I mean, you can see this guy right here, this little Slowbra. That's why it's called the Slowbra, guys. You know, I don't ever call it a Cobra. I know some people are not going to be too happy about it because it has the badges, but I want to stick true to what it was when I had it in high school. That's the whole point of keeping the car as it is. I have an emotional attachment to this car, and I wish I didn't because I put a lot more money than this car will ever be worth into it. But honestly, this swap, people think that it's like impossible that you can do. Here, let me flip the camera around on me. People really think that this swap is like impossible for you to do. It's really not. It's just people want to say that, and they say it's so expensive and stuff. I bought the donor car. It was a wrecked 98 Mustang GT, no title, and I bought it for $800, and it came with these fancy wheels. So I could sell these. I think I like these though. On the other car, the rears are 315s, so they're really wide. But that's not going to be too big of a problem for me. I'm going to use them because I really like the fact that they're wide, even though it's completely overkill. But also, and one more thing I forgot to mention, drive shaft and rear end. You won't be able to use the V6 drive shaft. It's just not going to go into the transmission. But the rear end, I've heard that you can still use with the V8. It's just if you get the donor car, you might as well swap it. The Ford 88 is one of the best rear ends you can have in any car, including Chevys and everything like that. So I would recommend if you have it, just go ahead and swap it. It's just the easiest thing for you to do. And honestly, I've done this with all hand tools. I don't have a lift. I don't have any really great power tools. I mean, we use an impact to put the motor in and to take it out, but that's really all we've done. I have no fancy tools. Like I said, I used a cherry picker on the front and lifted the car off the cradle. So I think that kind of breaks it down. I'm going to try to put a list in the description of the things that you do need, you have to have. There's no question about it. The dash harness doesn't have to be done if you're not doing a 98 donor car. The 98, they just swap some stuff. So you won't be able to do that. But before that, you can keep it from my understanding. Now, it's kind of a question mark. I've seen a lot of people talk about the dash harness, and it's always been a question mark. For people say it worked, some people didn't, but I'm thinking the disparity is because some people use the 98 and some people don't. I've learned this the hard way. Don't want you guys to learn it the hard way. The 98 is personally the best to go with, but it is more difficult to go with if it's not the same year. That's the best way to do it, is to do the same year. I just found too good of a deal to pass up, so I had to get it. But as you guys can see, this is still very much a product. It is nowhere close to being done. If this dash fixes the problem, it'll be smooth sailing from there, hopefully. And it's going to be rear end, brake lines, exhaust, and interior. I don't know if I'm going to find buy new carpet or if I'm going to use the one from the 98. The 98 seems like it's better condition, but I kind of wanted to go black. So I may paint, like fabric paint the 98 carpet black and then go with that. But one last thing. You'll need, if you're going to manual, actually let me show you that real quick. If you're going to a manual transmission, there's some things that you're going to need in here. So you're going to need this assembly here for the clutch pedal, the brake pedal, and that's combined into one. See, as you can see, that's actually aftermarket. I didn't put it on there. It was on the 98 already, so like I just got benefits from this. But you have to replace that assembly. If you're going to be using a 98 on another different year car, might as well just pull the dash out from the beginning. Honestly, it would make your life a lot easier. I had to struggle with the steering column and everything just to put that on, just to end up taking it out. I think that's honestly where you're going to end up at. I mean, this right here is a short shifter, and the hole, you don't have to drill a hole or anything like that. I think that's going to be, honestly, about all you should need. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. You know, it's just one of those things where you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to do some research. I'm sorry about that. Just give me one moment. So I don't know if you can still hear me, but you know, it's one of those things that you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to do research. And I'm hoping this can help you with research, because research, I've done so much, and there's just people just not giving you correct information. And I don't want you guys to get scared of doing this swap, because it's not that scary. It's really not. It's the same car. It's going to work. It's just going to take time, trial and error. It's really key, okay? I'm hoping that I can get another video out to you guys with this car running. If it never runs, you can just ignore everything I said, and I would tell you not to do this. But it should be all right. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.